Hello, I'm Karen, and this
is Kelly.
and we're here together to walk you through the Food Club ordering system for Wholesome Food Co-op. So when you get to the page, and this is how you're going to get there, this is the address you want to type in your bar. You're going to see that you can log in right here, and if you don't have a login, you can go ahead and register as a new user, and we're not going to take you through that because it's very self-explanatory. And here on the home page of foodclub.org, our homepage for Wholesome Food Co-op, there's all kinds of stuff here you really need to know. We operate by these policies, and you need to know what they are so that you understand moving forward what's going to be expected and how we're going to handle things. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here. You're going to see the homepage right here for the Wholesome Food Co-op, and this is a duplicate of the page that is before you log in, and we just do that because it's important that you have access to this information while you're logged in, and we don't want you to have to log out to see, to go look up a detail. So we keep those two pages mirroring each other so they're exactly the same. So up here in the right hand corner, this is one of the most important things you'll learn, is that this is the source drop down menu, and this menu basically is like a shopping mall, and these are the stores in the shopping mall. So you know where to go to shop to place orders. We try to put the dates in here that tells you when the order period is going to close, that we have a group minimum or not, so you know that maybe or maybe not it won't be ordered if you put some things in the cart, and so on. And we try to tell you if a store is closed or if it's open and so on. So we'll give you really good information over here. So the first thing I want to show you is our fresh produce pack. This is one of the first things that new members are interested in because it gives you a really good sample. Typically our produce packs are about $40, and we put a variety of vegetables in them, and so I'm just going to show you how to order that. So this is the home page. Go over here to the split page, and what you'll see is one line of what the item is to choose from. We say that there are 10 boxes in one case, and we do that because that way it's easy to fill 10 boxes at a time. We can't fill just 2 boxes. So if you want one, you can just go ahead and put in 1 or 2 boxes. Most families get 1. Some families get 2 or 3, depending on the size, and then they just get whatever we choose to put in that box. And you can find more information about that on our group on Facebook. So put in the minimum and the maximum that you want, and then request the split. So that's how you click through that ordering process. And then you'll see down here that it looks like we have 30 boxes ordered from different people here, and then the any user, that's the username I'm using right now, it shows up in red here because it's the beginning of another batch of boxes that is not yet filled. Now in other stores we would say the case is not yet filled. So that lets you know that until 9 more people order that product, that is not going to be something that you actually get. Now, if you're ordering this and you go away and you don't come back and 9 more people fill that, then we're going to order that for you, and there is no checkout. That's probably one of the most important things to know about ordering from Food Club is this is a place that you put in your order, and then the organizers of the co-op actually place the order for you with the companies that provide the products. So that's kind of how the fresh food pack ordering works. And then up here in the corner, we're going to change the source. We're going to go down to organically grown company. This is a little bit of a unique store to order from because in here we have all kinds of different things to choose from. Now these are just the splits that are open right now. You could come up here and search for broccoli. And Kelly, do jump in if I miss something. And then you can see you have a whole bunch of different things to choose from. And I know a friend who just loves broccoli Romanesco. 20 units of Romanesco. Oh, here's one that's 14. That's even better. Let's do that. Okay, I want a quarter case. Well, how do you split a quarter case of 14 count items? Now that's another really important thing to know is the difference between the count and the pound. Pound means there's 20 pounds in this case. So we would split that 4 ways, 5 pounds a piece. But down here, how do you split 14 count? The system is set to only accept certain increments. So let's see what it tells us. 7, that's for a half a case. Request the split. and we get a message. Could not add or edit the split for the broccoli because it must be split in quantity increments of 4. Okay, well, you're always going to get that message if you don't happen to get it right the first time. So it looks like my half case of 14 count is going to have to be 8, which we know is not a half a case when there's 14 units in it. So what that really means in reality is that two people, if two people split a case, one will get 8 and one will get 7. And we fix it so that you get charged that way. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and put your order in. We can tell when you're trying to split it 4 ways. If you are close because of the way that the system rounds up to the next whole number, we can actually put in those fractions for you. So we do that before we send out invoices. So that's one of the number one questions we get is I don't understand how to put in a split for a partial. There are some things that there are only 6 in a case. And when that happens, it requires you to order 2. Well, we're just going to leave that alone and split that case 3 ways. But for the most part, quarter case splits are the only thing that we can work with. And that just, the reason that we do that is because you can have a case of 50 pounds of potato and have 25 people sharing it, and it just makes the splitting of it a nightmare. And this is a bulk wholesale ordering club, so we're not breaking it into smaller quantities than that. So if you look at the splits page, and that's the only thing that we have activated here, in some of the tabs in some of the stores, you'll see different options here, but splits is the only one that we offer in this store. So when you come in here and look at splits, you can just scroll down, and anywhere your green bar highlights, you could open that up and add to that split. And you can see that here where we popped in, it should be 25, 50, 75, 100, or 125 and so on percentage filled of the cases. So here's a perfect example. There's 275%. That means there's 1/4 of a case left to get to 3 full cases. And these people will not get their produce if somebody else doesn't come along and order more avocados. So you can always keep track of that way. So you just put it in your cart and then wait and see what happens. You can come back on Monday night right before the order closes, and if it's really close and you just need a little bit more to fill a case of something you really want, you can go ahead and order that last quarter case so that everybody gets it.
All right. And go back down to your broccoli. So you've got where any user, which is us, has ordered a quarter case of broccoli. We were using that as another example when we were working on this video. And then we have us ordering the half case that we just did. Percentages don't show up exactly right because, the system rounds up to the nearest whole number. And
that's right.
But once the order is placed, we'll go in and adjust those numbers.
Well, and often,
or even as we go along,
even
adjust those numbers.
Often during the weekend, while the order is open, I'll pop in and go through and make all these tweaks so that, like here's one for Brussels sprouts that I did not do. This one says that's 10 pounds. Well, that 3 pounds, she clearly wants 1/4 of the case. It's got her in for about 1/3 of the case. And I'll make an adjustment and put 2.5 in there. Mm-hmm. And then when we get to splitting day, we don't get the scales out and measure out exactly 2.5 pounds. We do a visual sort of a split 4 ways. And that's how we do it. That saves us a lot of time. The differences are minuscule, and the whole point is to efficiently deliver you excellent value, not perfection. Right. So that way everybody wins.
Unless it's too hard to split visually, then we will weigh it. But
I weighed some green beans last week because it was just too hard to get green beans as close as we wanted to. And grapes, we definitely weigh grapes because it's really, kumquats are really small.
Right.
Brussels sprouts, we might actually, I hate to confess this, but we might actually weigh the Brussels sprouts. Right. It just depends a little bit on how close do we feel like we can get with a visual split. So does that explain the splits completely?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay, well, let's go take a look at another store. Now, here's a store. Get up here to the top. Let's go look over at the Equal Exchange chocolate because we definitely want to talk about chocolate before we leave today. Now, the chocolate bars, we're not requiring any quarter case splits on the chocolate. You can split the 12 case of chocolate any way you want. If you want just one bar, then come over here, click on, here's one nobody else wants my organic extreme dark chocolate. I definitely want that. It says there's 6 more bars in the case in order to fill it. So maybe I'll just go ahead and add 4 more bars and get really close, but I'll go up to 6 if I have to. And that's kind of what that range is about, is letting the system know that you'll take a half or you'll take more than a half or whatever. And you can do that in any of the stores. You can choose what your range is, where it has to be a full case, because nothing from Equal Exchange will get ordered if it's not a full case. Right. Partial cases don't get ordered at all. So see here, I just added, for the any user, I added 6 bars. This first number says how many was the minimum I wanted. The last number is how many is the maximum I wanted. And the number in the middle is the number that the system says I'm going to get based on who else is in the order. Let me just pick this one. This one's perfect. Right. Okay. So it says there are 4 additional units here. So let's say I'm going to take, let's say I want 6 bars, but I'd take 9 bars just for fun. See what the system says. Okay, it says here, suddenly the other 2 people in this order are going to get 3 bars apiece and I'm going to get 6. So that's how it breaks that up. So how cool is that? So you can always see when the ink turns black, it tells you this box is full and it's going to be ordered. When it's still red, it says the box is not fully ordered, so it won't get ordered if somebody doesn't buy it. And I'd better go in there and take that out of there because I don't want that. Although the people in the mixed produce box might really like a chocolate bar.
Ooh, they
but
might.
That's what the any user is for, actually, is ordering the produce for the mixed produce boxes. So that so you can order any division of split in Equal Exchange. It's not limited to quarter cases. And then there's another one here, Azure Standard. Now this is a really exciting store. This is a huge store with thousands of products. And these are our current split requests. We may be changing this a little bit because almost everything at Azure is whole packaged single items. So it may not be appropriate to have splits in there. We may change that where you won't see the split right here. You'll see another tab that just says order. And that would be just ordering the entire item. For example, somebody has a bottle of organic. I was looking a little earlier and I saw Napa Valley oil. This system would actually allow you to order 2 ounces out of this bottle. We're clearly not going to do that. So make sure that you're ordering whole items. So let me just show you. If I click on this olive oil and I say times fluid ounces, it will let me put in 2 ounces. It will allow that right now. So I think we're going to be changing that. Just so you know, when you come back, you might not be able to get away with that. And it will be because it just doesn't make sense.
Okay. Talk about how you actually get your black turtle beans onto this split page.
I did a search.
Right.
Okay, so let me show you how you go about finding products. Now, my personal favorite thing, with some of these stores, you can actually go to their retail website. So let me just do that for you quick. We'll go to Azure Standard.
It's up.
It's up. Click it, and it'll take you to the retail store. So then let me just do a quick search for see, I did that earlier, olive oil. And then I've got all these. Oh, this is the one I love. I know this one. Okay, so I'm going to click on it just to open it up. And then I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I know that this is the perfect oil for me. I've used it for a long time. And here's the package code. That is what I need to take. I'm going to copy that and paste it back over here in my search. Now, there's several ways you can search. I'm just going to show you that that's one way to find, okay, that is exactly the product I wanted. I saw it on the retail website. Boom, I'm in. Okay, the size on that is 25.4, so I'm just going to type in the 25.4 over here and say split request for above items. And there may be a button here later that says order this item or something like that when I change this and it no longer accepts splits. We're still going to talk about that a little bit because there are some things where 2 5-pound blocks of cheese come in one box, and you might be able to share that with somebody. So I think that's the reason that we didn't do it. It's just really going to depend on how much trouble do we have with people trying to order, for example, 2 ounces of oil. So so that may be coming. But so then another thing that you can do too here is I just typed in black beans.
It's up.
Well, it's only up because, and try not to do things plural, because you have trouble if you finish a word and it's different in their database than it is the way that you type it. So just black bean, here we go. So you get all kinds of cool stuff. Black bean burritos, 10 or more pages of, oh wow, 312 items on black beans. Okay, let me just try this. Let me just see if I narrow that down if I go black beans. Just for grins. We'll see what we get. No, it didn't really narrow it down that much. But here we go. Azure Market black beans, 25 pounds. Well, that's going to be perfect for what I want. So you could put in here that you only want 10 pounds, but please don't do that because we're not going to open a 25-pound bag of beans and weigh it out. So it's whole items only unless it's a part of a packaged thing inside a bigger case. For example, right here on this line, we've got Amy's refried black beans organic. That must be cans, I'm assuming, or boxes or, cartons of some kind.
Right.
There's 12 in here. So it's going to say how many 15.4 ounce cartons do you want? So then you could order a partial of that. If somebody else buys the rest of them, then we can order that case. Perfect? Okay. Yeah. So that kind of explains why we've allowed the splits here and kind of why we might not in the future. All things considered, the entire case is only $28. Maybe that's something you use all the time, and 12 makes sense for your family. So now I think you have a pretty good understanding of how to search for products in Azure Standard. And of course, using the supplier's retail website works for any of these suppliers. And we're going to come down here and show you Frontier. Frontier Co-op is one of my favorite bulk tea, herbal tea. Okay, so here we've got, they all come in a silver foil bag, super cool. The ones with the red label are organic. The ones with the green label are not, but none of them are irradiated or GMO. So either way, you're getting an outstanding high quality product. So this is an example of the one of the sites where we're not allowing any splits because these are all single packaged items. And so it'll just give you a add one and hit the add button, and then it's going to be in your cart. So let's just take a quick look at the cart. Over here in the right-hand green where you've got your summary, you're going to hit your shopping cart. Now don't panic when you see our shopping cart because this is kind of a practice cart. We've been messing around with it to make this video. Some of these things are going to go away. Some of these things are the items that we're purchasing for the mixed produce pack that's going out this week. So you can see everything here that you've asked for and put in your cart. The things that are in red are not yet filled splits for shared cases. And down here at the bottom, you can see the maximum total you will spend if all your splits are filled, if all splits filled with your maximum requested quantity. That is the most you will spend plus shipping and handling. And then this is the amount that you're going to spend right now based on splits that are already filled. So there's a range here. So you always want to come in right at the end before the order is going to close and make any adjustments. If you wanted some of that broccoli and nobody else wanted any, you can up your quantity in here to make sure that you get the case, that you end up getting to share it. And then another thing to keep in mind, please, is one of our goals as a nonprofit is to bless other organizations that specifically minister to specific kinds of people. And one of my warm fuzzies goes out to a kids corner in Big Lake where that nonprofit provides hot meals to kids that don't have good living situations, or for some reason they don't have dependable regular access to hot meals, and we want to provide them with some fresh produce from our orders. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to say when you need to fill up a case, consider the donation of that. If it's way more food than you can use but you really want it, we're happy to take that off your hands at pickup and deliver that to Kids Corner or to another nonprofit that does a similar kind of ministry to people. And then the other thing too is if you don't have time to volunteer, this giving of extra produce that is more than what you really need for your group or your family is really appreciated by us. All of us are volunteers, none of us get paid, and we work really hard at this, and all we're asking is for you to take advantage of this amazing wholesale opportunity, is to have a giving spirit in yourself, and it doesn't have to be a lot. Every little bit will make a huge difference in the life of someone else. So we pretty much covered everything else, didn't we?
I think so.
Okay. All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have a great time. Don't hesitate to reach out to one of us if you have questions, because we're here to make sure that you are able to order from the Wholesome Food Co-op and have great produce in your house. Thanks so much.
Thank you.